Alright guys, so it's that time of the year where Nintendo does their thing where they're like, hey, we hate when people play our video games under their own terms and desires. So we're just gonna aggressively like screw these people over as much as possible. I think this clown music perfectly describes Nintendo in these times. Alright, I can't listen to this for this long. So yeah, I get the irony, by the way, of using Smash Bros. Music when we're talking about how much Nintendo sucks, but it's pretty banger music still. So, Nintendo Japan and Nintendo Europe, and what I imagine will soon be Nintendo of America, released community tournament guidelines. Basically guidelines for tournaments that don't have explicit Nintendo permission to run, and we'll get into that later. So basically, if your tournament is not explicitly approved by Nintendo to have exceptions to these rules, your tournaments now have all these different guidelines. They can't make a profit. Just straight, if your event literally has to go even at best. If you make a profit from your tournament, well, that's not allowed. You can't be doing that. Your event cannot have more than 200 people offline, or even 300 people online. Imagine a free-to-enter online event. Literally, can't have more than 300 people home chilling playing on it. What else was there? Your tournament cannot charge more than $20 in euros from any participant. So that means basically affording any like venue at all is just unattainable under these rules, unless it's like a small local venue. Also, the tournament cannot have more than $5,000 market value. I'm not sure what that means, like for an individual prize, like a first place, or the entire event. But I assume that means the entire event. So like, that's it. You know, we make too much money from these tournaments already. You know, as top players, like, you know, I'll beat like some of the best players in the world, get like fourth in an event, and get like $300, and that's actually just too much. We can't have that. So yeah, and also throughout an entire year, a single organizer cannot give people more than $10,000 worth of prizes. So, you know, let's say you have two events that $5,000 total in these prizes. You know, crazy numbers. You can't have more. That's it. You're done. What else? What are the other things that are relevant that actually screw people over? No sponsors. Just, that's it. So, you can't have other people, like, you know, organizations helping run these events in exchange for, you know, advertising at all. Also, organizers have to disclose all accounting costs related to the event. That's a pain in the ass. That is a lot of stuff they have to do for these events. And, yeah. So, that's, like, the main stuff. There's also some really stupid stuff. Like, tournaments cannot sell food, beverages, or merchandise. No tournament t-shirts, as far as I can tell. No, like, hey, you want water? Yeah, no, you can't sell the water there. You want, like, a sandwich or something? Nope, it can't happen. So, a tournament's supposed to offer this stuff for free? I wonder if this also means things like artist alleys and stuff can't happen anymore. Because even if it's not official tournament merchandise, it's merchandise being sold at the events. So, yeah. Yeah, that's... And there's also something else here about, like... Oh, yeah, I found it. You cannot use accessories and things not licensed by Nintendo. So, you know, like those Mayflash adapters. Oh, wasn't able to be used. Bob controllers, in theory, boxes, all that stuff. Couldn't be used. And, yeah, it kind of just... It sucks. It really... It's just... Nintendo is trying to do their best to screw over tournaments. And now, they said specifically if these events aren't licensed. Now, you can try to apply for a license for an event. And I know there are some events that do that. Like, I think Big House does have a license to run. I think Genesis does. But, like, I don't know which events do and don't exactly. And it creates the massive hoops to jump through. Because now you're basically forced to run events through Nintendo's permission, which means they're forced to run it the way they want you to run it exactly. Which, as you can imagine, is an absolute pain in the ass, I imagine. It also means they can just screw over events if they feel like it. And there's a classic, like, Nintendo draconian, like, dictatorship of their products. So, yeah. And I feel like this is all kind of in response to Smash Bros. Tour last year, because we don't know the exact truth behind everything that happened, but it was shut down simply because of Nintendo is just like, hey, screw you guys. And this seems like them trying to make sure nothing like that could happen at all without their direct permission. But it definitely reaches the point of just screwing over a lot of people. Players get screwed over by this, because tournament organizers get screwed over by this. And it's rough. I also imagine this means, let's say, a tournament wants to run like a C-band event. Nintendo probably wouldn't allow that. So it gives them more direct control over the rules. And like, it feels like, I look at this not as a way of Nintendo's trying to say no events, but they're trying to say, hey, these events can't run unless everything about these events is explicitly run under the way we want them run. Which, yeah, that hurts. Especially like imagine like you're a big content creator, maybe you want to run an event, and you just can't now. Or maybe even like you're like a regional TO, right? You run these like decently sized events. There's a cap on how big your regional events can get, because I've seen regionals with 300 people, and I've seen regionals with sponsors. In fact, sponsors are really important to run events. Hope you guys also can't hear the really annoying lawnmower outside. If so, it sucks. I don't think you can. But yeah, like, if you're a regional TO, you can't run these events. And I'm just kind of hoping, honestly, that there's enough backlash from people online that maybe Nintendo dials this stuff back when they realize this is screwing over everyone for basically no benefit to people. And I guess the benefit to Nintendo is they have more control over their IP because always overprotective of their IP. But yeah, hopefully like enough like people are like, hey guys, you suck, that they realize this is really just a net negative for them in terms of how people view the brand. Because I don't I don't really see how big tournaments are supposed to run sustainably under these kind of conditions, or even just like be confident doing so. Like, imagine wanting to run an event and having the hope Nintendo allows your event to go through without all these crazy limitations. Because they may allow an event to go through under a lot of limitations that make it not profitable. But as it is right now, a lot of tournaments already go on the red. Venue fees are getting kind of expensive, granted. That's because events, venues are expensive as hell. But like, you can't run an event if you get $20 per person for like a 2-day regional. You just can't. Maybe even like a nice like 1-day like local venue might be a bit more expensive than what these allow you to run. It's rough. It's rough out here. I just want to bring attention to it. And yeah, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I'll definitely stream later today, just talking about this a bit more. And kind of like just bouncing ideas back and forth. But yeah, I think this is, man, Nintendo just really hates us. I feel like no other game company would be like, yo, we hate you guys this much and want to screw everything over. Things like Capcom. Granted, I know Capcom had like some drama in the past, but they dialed it back when they realized it was a bit too extreme. Because they generally want their tournaments and their community and like scene, they want to support them. It feels like every other game dev, company that has this kind of massive support of their game would actively support it. And then it's always baffling Nintendo does everything they can to make it as difficult as possible to play the video games. Shake my freaking head. Alright, y'all. Peace.